Retail Week is brought to you by Nutrisphere N, Nitrogen Fertilizer Manager, protecting your nitrogen from all three forms of loss.
Hello again, welcome to another edition of Crop Life Retail Week. Eric Sfiligoj with Crop Life. Here with special guest this week, Dan Jacobs from Agribusiness Global. Dan, welcome for joining us this week.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Thanks. Dan actually was just on a trip to South Africa at the Biocontrols Conference being held there. So Dan, fill us in on what you saw and what was said.
Great. It was a really amazing conference. It was Biocontrols Africa a couple weeks ago in Cape Town, which is actually a beautiful city. I'd recommend it if you ever get a chance to go there. We had a sellout crowd, more than 220 people, more than 24 companies, 11 sponsors. We had over 20 speakers. There were growers who gave their best practices. There were academics and researchers who were providing us the latest information on biocontrols and what we can expect in the next few years. We had companies presenting. It was really quite a wide range of presentations, and it was jam-packed the entire time. Every seat was filled.
Very good. So what was the general mood among the folks there on what they were seeing in the marketplace?
They were really thirsty for information. South Africa is big on fruits. A lot of apples and pears and grapes are grown there, and they like to export them to Europe. And to do that, they need to make sure that their MRR levels are at the right level and can meet those regulations that are in Europe. And so they needed a lot of information about how these products can help them increase their exports. So that was really something that they were thirsty for information about.
Okay. And I guess, too, after the conference was over, you and some of the staff from Agribusiness Global had a chance to have a little bit of fun and go on safari. You want to talk about that a bit?
Sure. Actually, my wife joined me for this trip, and we were able to do a little bit of a safari. We saw elephants, giraffes, lions, zebras. It was really pretty amazing. And then after the conference, we went down to the Cape of Good Hope and saw some baboons. And a lot of people don't know this, but they actually have penguins down in South Africa.
Penguins,
So
all right.
see them waddle around a little bit, really cute.
And for those viewing, I think we'll have a picture up of some of the penguins that you actually got to see.
Yes.
So very good. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk a bit more about the dicamba issue and some upcoming events.
Over the 9+ years, they've done over 400 trials, side-by-side replicated trials, and we've shown that 90% of the time we've had a positive yield response with Nutrisphere. So 90% of the time a crop producer out of those 400+ trials could expect a positive response. That positive response is average 10 bushel an acre across all 400+ trials.
So welcome back. As you may remember, folks, we've been talking a little bit about dicamba. Myself, Jackie Pucci, and Paul Shrimp have been following this topic. There have been some issues in certain states, in particular Tennessee, Missouri, and in particular Arkansas. I know as of last count, there were over 700 complaints filed in Arkansas by growers alleging that improper dicamba application had damaged their crops. And as of last week, we now found out that 7 Arkansas growers have now filed suit against the 3 principal dicamba producers in the U.S., Monsanto, BASF, and DuPont. So that's going to be coming up here in the next couple of months, and it should be real interesting as we follow this and see what more comes of the dicamba debate as we go forward. So for those also in the market, one other thing we want to talk about, upcoming events. I know for myself, I'm going to be attending a Case IH event next week. Also going to be visiting with the folks at Ag Leader for their open house, celebrating 25 years in business. And Dan, you want to update us a little bit on some of the things going on from ABG's side going on in the marketplace for shows?
Sure. Actually, we have our Agribusiness Global Trade Summit coming up August 8th, 9th, and 10th, and that'll be in Las Vegas. That is the premier sourcing event in our industry, and it's something that you can still sign up for. So that should be pretty exciting.
And Biocontrols?
I mentioned, talked a little bit about our Biocontrols Africa show. There were, it's one of 4 events actually. Biocontrols West was earlier this year. There are 2 more that are coming up. One is Biocontrols Mexico. That'll be in Guadalajara, Mexico in September. And then the following month, there'll be Biocontrols East, which will be in Orlando, Florida.
Very good. And one other thing, I know folks, in the past couple of years, we've had a Precision Ag Innovation Series meeting that takes place just before the Farm Progress Show, and Precision Ag Professional Magazine is again planning one for this August 28th in Champaign, Illinois. And as I said, that'll be just before the Farm Progress Show. And if you're interested in attending, you can visit www.precisionaginnovation.com to get more information. So thanks for joining us this week. Thanks for joining us, Dan. We'll see you again real soon.
Thank you to this week's video sponsor, Nutrisphere N Fertilizer Manager from Verdesian Life Sciences.